And welcome to another episode of Entrepreneur Pitstop, where we help entrepreneurs, startups, local business development get some knowledge, insight, tips, tricks, and strategies for developing not only themselves, but their business and going global. So today I'm here with Delfin Vassallo, and he is a marketing specialist, which I'm excited to bring on board because I want to help you understand the value of marketing, communication, and bringing outside professionals into the game. So welcome, Delfin.
Thank you very much, Dean, for having me, and looking forward to our productive conversation today.
Yeah. So why don't you tell us real quickly, Delfin, you're with GF Piping Systems. I guess it used to be Uponor. You say it better than I do. Why don't you introduce your company and yourself real quick?
Yes, I am Global Head of Marketing Communications at GF Piping Systems, or George Fisher Piping Systems, which is a global corporation, industrial manufacturer. And we just acquired the company that I initially was working for is Uponor, very well-known company in Finland from the Lahti area, only 10 years old, also in the industrial manufacturing and construction business. And as it happens, well, mergers and acquisitions are the order of the day in these years. So yeah, we were acquired, and now we are in transitioning to this new brand. I'm Global Head of Marketing Communications in the infrastructure division, meaning all the construction that you see outside your balcony, down there in the park, on the ground, under the street, all these systems that are installed there to manage the water, the rainwater, the wastewater, etc. Also the potable water that you get in your house when you open the tap and you get nice and clean water. All those systems are produced and installed by my company or by my division.
Okay, I have to ask you something. In your position, why is marketing? Because we all have a perspective of what marketing is. Marketing is like, a lot of people see marketing as advertising. You know, you're telling everybody what you have, why it's good, why they need it, why they should get it, and so forth. So you're trying to find the right image reflection, the right language reflection in order to draw attention, attraction, sell it to B2B, B2C, whatever. B2B marketing is sort of different than B2C marketing. You don't have to be as clever. Let's say use of words. It's more straightforward, but it is still about value proposition. But let me ask you, how is it that in that segment, marketing is important?
Marketing as a function within a business is one of the worst understood functions, or the most misunderstood function. As you said, for many companies, small and big, startups, any company in Finland, marketing equals Google Ads. Marketing equals do something on social, and that's it. And for whatever the reason we arrived to this situation, but certainly marketing is much more than that. When I have been talking with some startup founders that sometimes I coach, or some other people in the business, no, we don't do marketing. We don't need marketing. All right. So then how do you sell? Yeah, because we fix this price and the product that we develop is this. You are doing marketing. Product is part of marketing, designing the right product for the right audience or buyer,
Right.
setting the right price for
Right.
the
It's
market.
understanding that. Right.
Understanding the market first, your buyer, who is supposed to buy my product, why?
Right. Market segmentation. I mean, come on.
There you go. I mean, it's pretty much understanding who are you talking to, what are the pain points of that person. B2C, B2B, in this matter, it may not matter too much for now, but why that person should care about buying your product, getting attention to you and buying your product. So that's the core thing. How much you price it, how you distribute it. Is it through e-commerce? Is it a brick and mortar store? Is it how you do it? Do you have a sales force, a sales team that is proactively selling it? All those things are basic go-to-market strategies where marketing plays a crucial role. It's not just advertising.
Right, completely right. There's one thing that you said that I have to I have to pay attention. I have to add attention to. You said it's all about how you're gonna do it. Are you going to use sales, this, that? I love the fact that you put sales under marketing, because as much as sales is so essential to that take action per step in the process, it's marketing. I believe, in my experience, it's marketing that sets the stage for sales to be able to do their work more easily and effectively and efficiently.
Exactly. Both functions, we do different things. We are measured in
Right.
different ways, but we always should have the same objective. And that's what I always put the example or the metaphor is we want to sell to this type of company. We identify, we agree between sales and marketing. We have a B2B product. We want to sell to this specific company, companies, because we think that our product is so valuable for them, right? Let's make a joint go-to-market plan. Marketing attacks from the right, sales attacks from the left, but it's in a coordinated way. And
Right.
that's crucial that we keep the communication. And myself, I am in the monthly sales calls for our different solutions we have. And is their call as a sales, also product managers are there. I'm just there listening, is their call, but I get a lot of feedback from the market directly. What is happening? How is the sales funnel developing, moving or not moving?
Right.
And I go, what can we do as marketing to help you sales teams to make your life
Right.
easy?
To make it easier, help you with how the use of language, you know, value proposition and how it aligns with that company and their usage and or marketplace or so forth. It's for me it's a lot of like I guess like I said before, I feel that marketing sort of sets that stage and helps give ammunition to sales. So sales is a lot more direct, and marketing to me is a little bit more indirect.
And
But
you know what?
yes, like you said, going from the left and going from the right, two different strategies, and having the same goal in mind.
But that's unfortunately not the reality because whatever we have to end up in this situation. What I always said, sales, they have aggressive goals and they have to hit the quota this month, this quarter, this
Right.
year. So sales is responsible for acquiring customers today. Marketing is responsible for acquiring customers tomorrow.
Tomorrow. Right. Right. Right.
The
Right.
market to
Right. It
communicate.
secures the future. It it,
Yeah.
it, it basically secures, and that's one thing that is so viable that it's we talk about future proofing business or a future proof type of business or future proofing even ourselves. Yes, there's only so much you can do. There's no guarantee on future proofing. However, there's calculated risk on future proofing and calculated implementation on strategy to future proof. And marketing is an essential asset to future proofing a business because you set up the pipelines that take a little bit longer to generate revenue or generate ROI in some fashion, no matter what it is, whether it's relationships, whether it's sales, whether it's brand exposure and getting just attention. Yeah, those things take a little bit longer time, but when they land, they usually stay for a lot longer time also.
And that's responsibility of marketing, yes. In the part of external communication, how are we phrasing or crafting that value proposition in a compelling way that the message, call it slogan, call it text, call it whatever, that the message really resonates with the person that we want to buy our product.
Right.
If they are ready to buy now because they can click a button and buy it online or go to the supermarket and grab your product from the shelf or contact your sales team because it's a big deal. It's thousands of millions of euros worth of the sale. But the important thing is that that message is well crafted. So it goes through the eyes or the brain of the potential buyer. If they are ready to buy, great, fantastic. If they are not ready to buy, because they don't have the need now, because whatever, they will remember you when they are ready to buy, And the important thing is that then they will come to you and to
Right,
you
right.
only.
If you drive the communication the right way, or that you said it's a personality derivative, and marketing has a skill about understanding personality, behavior, the way people think, their purchasing habits. Those things sales doesn't do. So marketing has a skill in this. And when you do that, that person might not buy today, but you've set a seed that kind of grows real slow in their mind, and they'll be more attracted and remember that about your company if you do it right later, and they will come back to you. And this is such an essential communication. Communication. It's all about how you listen. Even sales, if they don't talk the right game, if they don't communicate in the right fashion, a value proposition, or just the right demeanor, communicate in the right demeanor, your sales is shot. I mean, you're not going to make your sale today. But
And we use
marketing,
different tools in marketing, which yes, has been very modernized in the last 10, 15 years, all this technology that we can use to make e-commerce, to make a bunch of things. But as you said, it's all about the customer, the person. In the end, marketing is not about technology. It's about psychology.
Yes,
And
most definitely.
psychology, which is what many people and overall business owners, small or big owners, they do not understand that. It's about how do we connect with our customer, our potential customer. Call it brand awareness, call it product, whatever.
Right. It's all generic at that point. Yes. And that's interesting because that's also one of the things that I find. Now, I live in Finland as well as you do. I'm from the Turku region. You're from Helsinki. I've been here for, I think, 12 years now. And I've been in and out of the startup community, in and out of SMA. And I got to tell you, oh my God, I've never seen a place so resistant to marketing. And as we say, marketing is about building rapport, communicating with others, building a connection, even if it's not face to face. When you write the content, you still have to understand the way they think. You have to respect them, take them in a way so that you can better understand them, so then you can better relate and post your message in the best way. Finns have a really hard time with that. Finnish companies struggle with that, and they resist hiring outside marketing. They'd rather read a book, try to figure it out on their own, but they're missing so much of the valuable mindset behind marketing. And that doesn't happen by reading a book.
It is curious because exactly yesterday I was discussing with a friend of mine from Scotland that Finns, or in Finland, they are the worst marketers. The companies are the worst marketers. They are fabulous engineers.
Yeah, brilliant people.
So they craft a product, it's perfectly engineered, it just works, and etc. And then you go, it's the product, just buy it. The customers will buy it. We just put it there and they will come, because it's not well seen that we brag, we do this communication. No, our product speaks by itself. Yes, to some extent, yes, you can do that, but then you can have the most wonderful product in the world, but if nobody knows that it exists, how are they going to buy it and whatever? So, and that's what I was discussing yesterday with this lady, the lack of understanding what marketing is, hence the lack of importance for any business to get marketing. And again, it's not ad, it's the product strategy, the price, the distribution, etc. The traditional 4 P's of marketing if you want, but in essence it's a business function, and as such, marketing should report business results, business metrics, all the rest of things, and the page views in your website and impressions, blah 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 blah. All those things are good. They are not marketing. They are not business.
Right. No, they're just tools used in developing business.
Right. Yeah, the marketer, we have fallen into that trap ourselves.
Right.
Stuff.
And that's where a lot of people say, oh, it's okay, I'll build my own website. And that's where the misconception is. Marketing isn't about just the website. It's just a tool that we use.
Yeah.
But it's also, how do you use that tool? And that's also something on a very simplistic, superficial level to realize that even if you have these tools, are you even able to use them efficiently and in the right way enough to get the best results from your then marketing strategies aside from the psychological approach? So there's two layers of it, because a lot of people don't see marketing as that psychological approach in a sense. They see it more as tool based. How my words are on my blog. Do I have a website? Is there SEO? What are my keywords? That's how they relate to marketing, and that's such a small piece of it.
Super detailed, which not to diminish the importance of that, but as a business owner, whether your business is small, big, or startup, whatever, what you want is that the business grow and is profitable. If not immediately, but in the long run, it should be profitable. Otherwise, it will no longer exist. Why are you doing marketing? Why are you doing all these efforts? A friend of mine that works in a very well-known agency here in Helsinki, one of her customers was that, hey, let's push this campaign to get more impressions. Okay, right. Why? So we get more impressions. And she was like, yeah, but what are we trying to achieve?
Right.
We can pump all the money you want and the impression will go up. So you hit the number and that's it. What is the value of that? What are we trying to achieve? What is your business goal? And her customer was like, oh, okay, yeah, good question. And that's when they start to rationalize.
Right.
It's not that having a lot of impression is bad. No. Why you want that? And
what's the goal with it? What are you going to do with it? Right.
Yeah.
What are you going to do with it once you have it? Big deal that you have them now. Okay. Right. Now, how do you handle having it all?
So I believe that's the key thing that, we marketers are maybe the worst to market ourselves, to market our job. But that's the key thing that we need to keep pushing and educating all the business owners, CEOs, and board members. Many times it goes way above the CEO, owner of the company.
It's hereditary.
The board members, I mean, I have been involved already in that world. Very rarely in a board meeting, the marketing topic comes. Many other topics, expanding the markets, building another factory. How are we dealing with the internal resources? People, sales, or sales. How much are we dealing? How much are we hitting? Very rarely the brand or the marketing topic comes. Why? Because also at board level, there's certain ignorance from the people that they don't know what the market is or what it is.
Right. Now, interesting. If you think about also too, look at the big Fortune 5, like the big Coca-Cola, right? They're all about brand. Apple, all about brand, right? They know the power of marketing. These companies, marketing is one of the top 5 things of discussion on their list about brand power. If they can't sustain that brand, their business goes belly up. They have to McDonald's. They've even though they've re-imaged themselves, it's all about through the brand, and how important that is at some level.
And that comes with a cost.
Sure, it does everything.
You can maybe Google around there, but it is said that Coca-Cola or one of these big companies with recognized brands, they invest something between 30 to 40% of their revenue reinvested in marketing, in brand. So you can see how important that is. So those are the big guys.
I mean, I got to tell you, big, small.
Finland, okay, that may be too far from the reality in Finland. No company invests not even 10% or 5% really of their revenue in marketing. But hey, from somewhere they need to start.
But I got to tell you, yes, investing in your brand, the ratio is it's a lot, right? However, I got to say that I'm used to where like 40% gets invested in marketing because marketing is a key driver. And if, just like even sales, let's just take sales for a second. So many people don't invest enough money into sales, and they think that sales is just going to bring, they put it into the development, the, R&D, they put it into this, that, and they spread it out evenly, but they don't realize that most of the companies that do succeed put that 40 to 60% into marketing. That's how you generate revenue. And then from there, then you can decide, what you want to do, change your ratios or what have you. I think in order for a company to succeed, and no matter, even if it is challenging, and hey, here's the thing about marketing, it's a creative position. So use your creativity, find innovative ways, new ways, different ways to kind of manipulate that in a positive way, that you don't sink the ship by putting so much investment into it, but you diversify it in order to still get the value needed by the heavy investment, but you do it strategically.
There's the key, exactly. Do it strategically. And for any business owner, it may seem like outrageous investing 40% of the rate. Wow.
Right.
But let's start small. But the key is be consistent.
Yes.
Yeah. You invest even a small amount or small little resources. That is okay. It's all regarding your size, but not where you are now, but where you want to go. Right. Where you want to be within 1, 3 years, 5 years.
Right. Future proofing.
Having that business.
We're setting it up.
And then marketing is one of the tools, one of the areas that can help you to get there. If you as a business leader, you don't have it clear, what do you want, where you want to go, what are your objectives for the next 3, 4, 5 years? Is it revenue at any cost, or is it profitability? So those are the two things. And in the end profitability is the key thing. In the end, you can have a boost your revenue, but if in the end your gross profit is like 1, 2, 3%, well, okay, by now, by next year, we need to get 4% of gross margin. By 3, 4 years, we need to be 10%. Then you have a clear vision, and then that's when marketing can adapt to reach that business goal. Not anymore marketing goal, business goal.
Right. Agreed. So I want to ask you something. With this said, there's a lot of talk in the news and publications on social media and everything about Finland and their unemployment and business development taking a nosedive from startups, entrepreneurs to big business, you name it. And a lot of people are blaming all different sorts of segments, whether, the immigrants are blaming that they're not getting hired. The business owners are blaming the economy. Everybody's got somebody else to blame.
Mm-hmm.
And that's normal. It's not against Finland or Finns or anything. That's normal anywhere in the world. However, I believe that if more businesses in Finland were open up to strategies that they are not comfortable or used to, that come from outside of Finland, they would not be in such hot water. And I say this because I know a lot of people and companies. I know marketing people, and I know companies that need marketing, and they keep missing each other. They can't seem to get together for some reason. They're not getting hired. The company's not accepting, or vice versa. And it doesn't matter. I don't care where you're from in the world. The point is that they're missing each other, and this connection isn't being made, whether it's the lack of understanding of the need of marketing, whether it's not an understanding the value, whether it's new and different and they don't know how to do it and they're scared, or whether it's about hiring people who aren't native in that sense, and it's the whole crossing the border concern, even just as business development. But I got to ask you something, because I have my own opinion, but do you think that one of the many aspects that could help Finland in their business development, whether small, medium, or large, is to really understanding the value of marketing and how it can drive business growth and development for them?
The value of communicating adequately what you offer as a company, what you offer to your potential buyers. So that is absolutely key. As I said, you can have the most wonderful product in the world, but if nobody knows you, nobody knows that you exist, Doesn't matter. You will
Right.
not sell anything. So yes, that's one of the key business function that many businesses in Finland are missing. I can relate. I can understand to a certain point the cultural aspect, the humbleness, the non-bragging.
Yeah.
Fine. Hey, if we don't do it in Finland,
Right.
the neighbors will
Somebody,
do it. Actually,
right, right.
Sweden, they're very
Sweden.
good at marketing. Sweden
Don't
will
say
do it.
Sweden.
I mean, Swift will do it. Germans will do it. Brits will
Right.
do it. So we are not alone in this world. And one important thing is, to be honest, Finland is a small market. Whatever you sell,
Yes.
doesn't matter. For whatever you sell, whatever you produce, 5.5 billion inhabitants, the market is small. Any company, small or big, very quickly needs to go outside Finland to sell.
Definitely.
Very quickly needs to expand their business somewhere else, wherever you want. Typically Sweden, Germany, UK, or US. Many even startups, they don't bother to sell their product in Finland. They go straight to Britain, straight to the US, and that's it. How are you planning to conquer, so to say, those markets if you don't know how to market yourself, how to communicate yourself and your value proposition, whatever it is that you are
Right.
selling, producing, whatever? It's
Excellent
very
point.
important that these business owners are aware of what marketing can do for the business.
Right, right, right. Excellent point. And I mean, look at countries like Estonia. They first, I mean, they have no problem stepping outside borders, and they're doing quite well. I think they're doing better than Finland. They have been for the past 10 years, at least since I've been around. They have some great programs, and
Wonderful with the
you know,
e-citizen program, and that's the government actually that support by some
right, they
private.
support, right, there's systems
The
and
government.
programs in place to support that. And that's a whole nother podcast. That's a whole nother
Yeah,
issue.
but it's
But the
yeah,
importance of marketing, right? But at the end of the day, to understand the importance of marketing, what it could do for your business is essential. So, just to help wrap this up a little bit, if there was one or two key elements about marketing that you are able to offer somebody, a company, to contemplate, think on, take home, put into action, or whatever, is there something that you can offer the people of value that could help them to change their mind and take those chances or implement something, see the value of it, and then come back and say, well, okay, now we need marketing specialists from outside?
from outside, from inside, from wherever they come from. But first is you as a business, what are you trying to achieve? And based on that, marketing and sales will play a crucial role for your growth. If you are planning to grow your company beyond Finland's borders, definitely you need the input from someone who has been there, done that. Call it Germany,
Right.
Spain, US, whatever. So you will need someone who has been there, who knows, or at least who knows how the business, the way of working, the way of doing business is in those other countries. Just by guessing or by reading a book, as you said,
Right.
we hardly get there. Those are things that they experience, direct experience and expertise from people who have done it before. That's when it can help you really to succeed.
Right. And again, it's like,
Sales, but that's where the international talent value is in Finland, really.
right. And like you said earlier, too, it's also one of the key strengths of marketing is also getting into the mind of the market, the company, the buyer, understanding the psyche. It's a psychological approach in a sense, and understanding those behaviors, those patterns, and how to relate to that. And that key word, communicate and relate. It is so essential and such a key element of a marketing strategy.
If you want, is the humanistic view. I don't know how to
Yeah,
say
yeah,
it.
that's right. It's the humanistic
The
aspect.
engineering thinking. There's nothing wrong with that. I mean, as I said, things are fabulous engineers and they build fabulous products, but going beyond the nuts and bolts, the bits and bytes,
Right.
there's a human, there's a neuron, and there's a hormone
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
drives the sales. And how do we understand those hormones and neurons? And that's the role of marketing, really, to understand it.
Right. Wow, that's excellent. Delphine, I really appreciate that. That's a great way to close this. And I want to thank you so much for coming on board and having a chat. I enjoyed this conversation. I always just like talking about this stuff, especially something that I'm a little bit passionate about or have some background in. So thank you for your expertise and sharing with us your perspective and point of view on this subject. And once again, Delfin Vassallo, thank you so much for joining us here on Entrepreneur Pitstop, where we help you with tips, tricks, and strategies for developing entrepreneurship, your startup or business, going international, and whatever you need to help you, keep the momentum and not tapping out, not giving up. Once again,
So,
thank you, Delfin. Have a
thank you so
great day.
much. Thank you.